Okay, let's dive right into this. When you hear the word stroke, you probably picture an elderly person, right? Well, what if I told you that doctors are actually treating stroke patients as young as 19 years old? Yeah, 19. It completely shatters the whole misconception that severe neurological issues only affect our grandparents. The reality is, our modern lifestyle is completely rewriting the rules of human biology, and honestly, not always in a good way. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to decode the absolute mysteries of our nervous system, using incredible insights straight from the latest medical discussions. We're bringing you the facts directly from the source material to figure out what's really happening inside your head and, well, throughout your entire network of nerves, right at this very second.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. 1. Nervous system basics. 2. The brain rot phenomenon. 3. Everyday nerve issues. 4. Stroke, the race against time. 5. Pediatric seizure facts. And finally, 6. The 8 pillars of nerve health. We're basically working our way up a scale of severity here, covering everything from the everyday tech fatigue you're probably feeling right now, all the way up to life-threatening medical emergencies. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Nervous System Basics, the Command Center. So, biologically speaking, natural nerve degeneration kicks in around age 40. Everything just naturally starts to slow down a bit. But our modern, high-stress, fast food lifestyles, they're rapidly accelerating this decline. We're actually aging our nerves way faster than ever before.
I like to think of the brain as this ultimate, high-tech command center. And your nerves, they're like a vast network of two-way cables. It's a brilliantly fast system. Like if you accidentally touch a hot stove, the peripheral nerves in your hand instantly shoot a split-second message to the brain saying, "Whoa, this is hot." And the brain fires a message right back down those cables, commanding your muscles to pull your hand away. Boom. It happens in mere super seconds.
Moving right along to Section 2, the brain rot phenomenon, or digital overload. Now, this is something I'm sure almost all of us can relate to today. If you've been feeling, dull, unmotivated, or like your attention span has just completely vanished, you're definitely not alone. And the really validating truth here, it's not a moral failing. It's actual biology.
Now, what's really interesting here is dopamine. It's basically the neurological courier responsible for your motivation, your focus, and your brain's entire reward system. When we get stuck in that endless scrolling loop on short-form video apps, we're literally flooding our brains with this high, fast junk food dopamine. It totally overloads the system. And because of that constant overstimulation, your brain's natural sensitivity to dopamine actually drops. That's exactly why you lose focus, why you feel unmotivated to do normal stuff like read or exercise, and why you constantly crave more extreme digital content just to feel anything at all.
But hey, here is the excellent news. Brain rot is an overstimulation issue. It's not permanent brain damage. You can actually naturally repair your cognitive function with some really practical steps. First off, try to strictly limit your doom scrolling to just 30 to 60 minutes a day. Second, pick up a physical book. Just the physical eye movement of reading left to right across real pages stimulates your cognition totally differently than a glowing screen does. Third, practice single tasking. Yep, that means no more eating while scrolling. And fourth, make sure you get adequate sleep to actually reset that dopamine system.
Section 3. Everyday nerve issues, like headaches and numbness. So let's pivot away from our screens for a second and talk about daily physical complaints. These are incredibly common, especially for office workers, busy parents, or, let's be real, pretty much anyone living a normal, modern life.
Understanding the difference between vertigo and migraines is absolutely crucial because, well, they require totally different treatments. Vertigo is fundamentally a balance issue. It feels like you're floating, unstable, or like the room is literally spinning around you. For office workers, this is frequently triggered by poor typing posture, which creates severe muscle tension in the neck. That tension actually messes with your proprioceptive sensors, basically your body's ability to sense exactly where it is in physical space. Migraines, on the other hand, are these throbbing, usually one-sided headaches with a huge sensitivity to light or sound. Those can be triggered by hormonal shifts, dehydration, or surprisingly specific foods like cheese, butter, chocolate, and nuts.
And then we have the dreaded pinched nerves. It's crazy to see how our everyday habits actually impact specific areas of our biological cable network. Riding a motorbike all the time with a super tight grip? That can cause carpal tunnel syndrome, which leads to numbness right in your wrist and fingers. Or lifting heavy objects with bad posture? That can cause a slipped disc in your lower back, sending shooting pain all the way down to your toes. Even just poor neck posture can cause numbness to radiate all the way down your arm.
The massive red flag you should take away from this? Frequent numbness. It must never be ignored, because it almost always means a nerve is physically trapped somewhere.
Section 4. Stroke. The race against time. Okay, we're escalating things now from daily complaints to absolute high-stakes medical emergencies where quite literally every single second counts.
So what is a stroke? It's a sudden, catastrophic disruption of blood vessels in the brain. They either get totally blocked by a clot or they rupture and bleed. And guys, they strike incredibly fast. A lot of them actually happen first thing in the morning because our blood pressure naturally spikes in those early hours. Symptoms can just appear completely out of nowhere. Sudden half-body weakness, a drooping face, or slurred speech.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is this number, 4.5. This is the 4.5-hour golden period. If a stroke victim gets immediate hospital intervention within this incredibly tight window, there is a 30% chance of a perfect 100% recovery, no lasting damage. But every single minute that ticks by, more brain cells die. I seriously cannot stress this enough. There's this incredibly dangerous widespread myth out there that you should prick a stroke victim's fingers with a needle to let the blood out. Please do not prick their fingers. Take them straight to the emergency room. Doing anything else just wastes precious minutes. In neurology, the golden rule is time is brain. Do not wait to get a clinic appointment. You need to go straight to a hospital with a CT scanner immediately.
Let's just take a quick breath as we move into Section 5, Pediatric Seizure Facts. Now, this is easily one of the most terrifying experiences for any parent, for sure. But understanding the actual medical reality can hopefully offer some much-needed empathy and reassurance.
First things first, let's dispel a massive myth right now. A lot of people think childhood fever seizures cause permanent cognitive decline or, weak brains. The actual medical fact is that most children who experience simple febrile, which just means fever-induced, seizures grow up to be entirely normal. And, surprisingly enough, a full-body seizure caused by a fever is medically considered far less severe than a focal seizure, which is one that only affects one side of the body.
To help parents really navigate this, let's break down this critical timeline. At the 0-minute mark, if it is your child's very first seizure ever, you must visit a doctor just to safely rule out any other causes. Now, if a seizure reaches the 5-minute mark and still hasn't stopped, that requires an immediate emergency rush to the hospital. And 15 minutes? That's the absolute maximum duration for what doctors classify as a simple febrile seizure. Knowing this timeline is so important because it empowers you to react correctly without totally panicking.
Finally, we've reached Section 6, the 8 pillars of nerve health. I really want to leave you feeling empowered today because there's this staggering statistic from our source material. 80 to 90% of strokes are lifestyle-driven. Let that sink in. That means they are almost entirely preventable.
These are widely known as life's essential 8. To properly protect your nervous system, you really just need the basics: adequate sleep, regular exercise, and maintaining a normal body weight while not smoking. Internally, the goal is to balance your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and keep your blood pressure hovering right around 120/80. Diet plays a huge part in this too. Actually, here's a really fun, surprising fact. While everyone always praises expensive salmon for brain health, everyday mackerel actually contains even more brain-boosting omega-3s. Who knew, right?
So I want to wrap up by leaving you with this thought. Have you given your brain a break today? Really think about it. Whether it's putting down your phone to let your dopamine receptors heal, fixing your posture at your desk to avoid those awful pinched nerves, or taking physical symptoms seriously right when they happen, remember this. Seeking early medical help is not a sign of weakness, it is an absolute act of self-love. Take care of your nervous system, and I promise you it will absolutely take care of you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.